GitOps, or operations by pull request. This talk is actually based on a blog post by our CEO, Alexis Richardson, who's also a co-founder of RabbitMQ, you may be familiar with, and a TOC chair at Cloud Native Computing Foundation. So if you just Google the title of the blog post, of the talk, you'll find the blog post, and then you'll find a few more blog posts that were a follow-up to that. And you'll learn more about what is it we do there that you can share with your colleagues. So, this is. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm in a developing experience team. Did a lot of external contributions to projects such as Kubernetes and Prometheus, etc. We as a company are committed to all the CNCF projects, and we've been a founding member at CNCF, and we kind of started off with the first multi-host network for Docker at the time, DevNet, and we've recently released 2.0 of that, and we also have a commercial SaaS product now. Cloud, which I'll show you in this talk. So
just a tad louder, please.
Yeah, sorry. I started off loud and now quiet. I get a bit. Do you mind just a second? Maybe I'll get my clicker. So. Sorry. All right. Okay, cool. So yeah, well anyway, so yeah, we've been running Kubernetes in production for a couple of years now, and we've learned a lot through that process, and hopefully you would find some of our learnings useful. We've released those learnings as tools on GitHub and in the product. Okay, well let's move on. So today, I'm going to tell you a bit more about our story. How did we get here? What is it we learned about Kubernetes? What is it we built along the way? And then I'll tell you a bit more about the theory of GitOps, which is all exciting. And there'll be a live demo. Hopefully that one fell. It's half-baked, but the demo is in preparation for my Java 1 talk. So just reusing that content, but it kind of works. So hopefully it will work. Yeah. Our story. What do we do? Yeah, as I said, we're a founding member of CNCF. If that makes sense to you. Our mission is to make tools that make Kubernetes adoption grow infinitely. So everybody will use all the great container technology. And we're looking at solving problems that are concerned about us when it comes to ops and things like continuous delivery, monitoring, and observability. We have a number of open source projects. We delivered value add in our SaaS product, which I hope you like, and I'd like to hear what you think of it. And I'll show you some of that today. What is it we offer? So yeah, a couple of years we're in Kubernetes in production. Maybe some of you are in that position, but we've been quite heavily involved with the project itself as well. We've contributed to tools like Kubernetes, also contributed to Prometheus around remote write capability, remote read, and we're using that as a basis for our hosted version of Prometheus. But today we're going to talk more about GitOps and CI/CD type stuff. So that's one of the tools we've implemented after we started shipping our apps to Kubernetes. We started off with this open source project a couple weeks ago, which we wanted to run as a service so we can make money with it. So it took us a while, but yeah, eventually we got that right. And yeah, still, yeah. I don't know. Can we just put the volume up?
No, that's not a microphone. It's just feeding into the
Right. Okay. Yeah.
no actual speaker.
There isn't actual. That's actually off.
No, it's just Weaveworks.
I keep thinking I've got the microphone, so I'm talking too loud. Okay, folks. Sorry about that. So yeah. Well. So you know, there's a bunch of things we learn, and we realize that hey, well, actually, we should share it with everybody in the product and in open source, right? And GitOps is one of the things we've learned. We believe this will be useful, but please tell me if it's not, or what you think of it. Okay. I must add, we believe that in order to accelerate your application delivery, you must really measure everything, right? That involves your application, performance metrics of the application, the platform, the infra-level stuff, and your team, how fast you actually shipping the software. You've got to implement Kubernetes and all this cool stuff. And now, like, are you actually doing better than you were doing before? How do you tell, right? So we use Prometheus for all of our monitoring needs, including front-end stuff. And we should be able to use Prometheus to measure the performance of your delivery pipeline. To do this at scale, yeah, you need something that is truly cloud native like Prometheus. So the GitOps theory, right? So that's the bit that we want to talk about. The GitOps theory. I mean, does it speak to itself to you? What do you think GitOps says?
Git makes operations.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's kind of right. Yeah. So what is it? What you would do in the world of GitOps?
I'm cheating because I already talked to you.
Yeah, you talked to me. All right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So yeah. First of all, any developer can use Git. I mean, some folks use like other revision control systems, but Git is what most of us use today, right? Anybody still using any of the older revision control systems on a daily basis?
Yes. CVS, never going away.
Right.
Use both, that's the problem.
So yeah, anyone can join the team. They can contribute to a private or whatnot repo and make pull requests or merge requests or whatever. Everybody's quite familiar with Git. It's probably the most common point of reference for each of us coming from all different programming backgrounds or whatnot, right? Unless, like, I mean, even in management, people use Git. Depends what kind of company you work for, right? So all changes can be stored in Git and audited and validated within Git. And what we're doing here isn't anything really clever or magic, right? It's all pretty straightforward and simple, and hopefully that's the kind of property you'd like. So yeah, we all set config as code, and everything is config. Everything is config. That wasn't my slide. Okay, and anyway, so everything must be version control. And CD tools that do not record changes in version control, they're kind of harm. If you have a continuous delivery tool that's got its own cool, shiny looking proprietary UI that shows you all the things, that is great. I mean, but like, it is so much better if you can use this familiar reference point, Git. So wonderful, isn't it? So the kind of thing we've got, let me walk over to this side. Use my laser pointer. All right. Well, no, it doesn't work with this type of script. Oh yeah, sure. Thanks. So yeah, we can't do without a diagram. So here's the diagram of the GitOps theory. So there's a code repository over here where you commit a change, goes into CI. CI builds images, pushes to a Docker registry, whichever one of those you prefer. There are multiple different kinds of Docker registry vendors out there. And deploy automation tool. detects that happening. It sees a new image. You may prefer to manually enter in at this point and say, hey, I would like to get this new image that you are seeing deployed right now, or I'd like you to hold on for a little while. And then the deploy automator could make the change in Git, or you could make a change in Git yourself if you'd like. If you want something else to go along with that change, maybe you deploy a new image as well as some other things like you want to scale it up or scale it down, or reduce some memory footprint, or anything like that. And then that gets synchronized and deployed in the cluster.
So I don't understand the rationale for taking a deploy automator, and what's the rationale for that?
Okay, so versus?
No, versus like, why don't you go from the image repo to Git and then just, what's this update hint going?
So you might want to just deploy some images automatically.
Okay.
In certain cases, it depends what kind of.
So the update hint would be either deploy automatically or manually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, automatically right away, or automatically
After
the morning, the next day in the morning, or something like that, right?
or Monday morning, not Friday.
Yeah. Yes.
That deploy automator time, like that's like
A decision
Ansible
box.
Tower or Rundown.
No, that actually in this case that would be this part and this part. That's what we implemented in Weaveworks or Weaveworks.
I'm sorry, say that again?
In Weaveworks, the open source project, which
In Weaveworks.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. So like with Kubernetes, there are certain pitfalls. Kubernetes is amazing. I love it. I'm sure we all love it. We're here at the Kubernetes meetup in San Francisco. I go to the Kubernetes meetup in London all the time. First time at Kubernetes in San Francisco, actually. Yeah. I've been at other meetups here, but not the Kubernetes ones. So yeah, we all love Kubernetes, but there are some pitfalls, right? So, for example, if you just started playing with it, and you'll just like kubectl the thing, right? You'll go and like, all right, well, I've got some changes I want to make, kubectl that. And then you're like in a shared cluster and your colleagues trying to do the same thing. I mean, Kubernetes will probably guide you around that or prevent some stupid things happening, but you never know what is going to happen. And yeah, then it's great. kubectl is amazing, but like, using it manually against the production system, it's going to cause you a lot of trouble. And then, I'm gonna make my CI do kubectl against my cluster. That's definitely the way to go, right? Yeah, let's do that. Unfortunately, it only works with some very basic scenarios. And if you've got like many CI jobs, suddenly you have a problem where like one CI job succeeded before, faster than you expected it to succeed and deployed thing that you didn't want deployed, there's another one behind it, or something like that. Whatever, like, there are no guarantees about the order of CI jobs and such things. So unless you have a particular CI that has certain properties, okay, that's cool. And then you're like, oh yeah, I've done that, and now I'm thinking I've got to deploy this out to different environments. I gotta have some templates, like at least for different log level in development, or something like that, something simple. And you go like, oh yeah, man said, or you refer to your other thing, whatever is that you're more familiar with, right? Some kind of templating thing that you used in app development world, whatever is that you do. Cool, right? And then you read about Helm, and it's like, yeah, cool, yeah, I'll use that for everything. I'll just use Helm. Ask me anything, I'll just use Helm. Cool, and Helm's great. I like Helm a lot. It does certain things really well, like getting you to install like Redis or MySQL or something else in the cluster. Right? Helm install Redis. Done. You want to know the Redis? Helm install Redis again. Great, amazing. But writing your own charts isn't exactly straightforward. And a lot of people have this misconception that Helm will solve all their problems, right? They'll think like, oh yeah, continuous delivery, Helm's got to do that. And then you find like blog posts describing how you do that, which are like pretty long. And kind of complicated, and a lot of things can go wrong. And they'll use SAT as well. So we've been actually working on Helm integration for Weaveworks together with Stackpoint Cloud. And there's been some progress on that. If you'd like to hear about it, if you're using Helm, if you'd like to do things in GitOps way, I'm happy to talk to you about that. And the collaboration is currently on GitHub. I can point you to some of the code there if you really want to get involved. So more GitOps. GitOps is great, right? Everybody loves that. I mean, tell me if it's like I'm just talking shit. Okay. So yeah, everything's checked in Git. Easy to deploy the entire stack. Easy to fork a cluster. Easy to detect other changes and alert or undo anything. This is all easy. So GitOps is easy, right? And Git is the source of truth. That's the mantra. Git is the source of truth for all of your configuration and code. You may like monorepos or you may dislike them. That's not the point at all. Right? It doesn't have to be a monorepo. You can organize your repos whichever way you like. The way we do it, we've got the microservices in separate repos of their own, which are hooked up to CI and build their Docker images as they will, and we have a kind of a mono config repo. That's the way we do it internally. You may prefer to do it differently. If you were to put everything into one repo, you can totally use the class. You just need to take care of avoiding basically loops, right? Because like if you trigger an image build and everything, and then you trigger deploy, it may take a while before you can deploy it. You had a question about that, please?
About the division of labor, are programmers accessing the config repo, or is that?
Yeah, well, internally, everybody has access to everything. Yeah. For us, right? For us, we have a very flat organization. In a large organization, you may choose your own level of access.
How do you partition out the things that you can't put into a public repo?
Oh, we met.
So, I mean, it's great to have infrastructure as code and have everything in one spot,
Right.
but you can't have everything in one spot because secrets can't be in there.
Right.
So, where's that going to go?
So I've been talking to folks in Vietnam over here, so just before this, like half an hour ago. And they have a great project called, is that the name of the project? Sealed Secrets is the name of the project, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Sealed Secrets is something you can use alongside this Weaveworks.
What's it called? Cell secret?
Sealed Secrets.
I mean, I know a number of things that will store secrets, but
Right.
if your cluster is defined in this, and if your
Right.
secret, I mean, there's a chicken and egg problem is most secrets things, vaults or whatever, have to run in a cluster or somewhere.
Right.
And if your cluster is defined in GitOps, you have a bootstrapping problem.
On you.
You use Ansible Vault.
I'm asking what he uses
You need
because,
a human. Right.
I mean, it's his talk, not mine. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, internally, we handle secrets outside of the cloud, like outside of Git.
Okay.
So yeah, we haven't implemented anything too complicated internally yet. We'll probably be looking at Vault or Sealed Secrets internally, and Sealed Secrets is something that is probably much easier to use than Vault for you. But essentially, I mean, we don't. Okay, so we said everything, right? Like there are certain things that you may wish to exclude.
I think there's some things you have to exclude.
We allow for that, right? Secrets, yeah, would have to be excluded in your case. Some people may like to check in their secrets because they have encrypted Git or whatever. Whatever they do, right? Yeah, but essentially, we said everything, but okay, perhaps I should add an asterisk there to the next version of this talk. Sure. And thanks for that. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and I mean, but the important things are that you know all the infrastructure changes will go through a review process. I mean, like in reviewing a secret, is that really a thing? Do you kind of like how do you review a secret? I mean, I guess you make sure the name is right.
Actually, there's lots of ways.
Right. Yeah.
You can try to use it.
Yeah. Probably try to use it. That's right. And you're free to use whatever tools that you need, right? Yes, please.
So this question is going to sound kind of dumb, or at least I
Okay.
feel kind of dumb asking, but
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't have a clear picture of what exactly GitOps is, but it sounds like it's basically for you have some Git repo where every single revision describes if I do like Git give me a revision agency 1 to 3, that fully describes declaratively the state of Kubernetes, which can correspond to the contents of the etcd.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But, yeah.
And it will converge whether I'm starting from bare bones with nothing in it, or I have some different state, and it's like, oh, well, now it's diverged, so I have to change it to agree with it.
I think so. I mean, I'd like to understand more after the talk. Yeah.
I mean, you're always going to need a carbon unit to start things up.
Right.
You can't get away from that.
I think part of it is that you never, I think the way I look at it is you never run a script or a kubectl directly, you always check in and
Right.
change.
Yeah, essentially.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's a
essentially
way of
that's-
making
that's-
changes
that's
to your
right.
environment where you
Yeah.
never actually do it by manually, so you never have to guess what happened.
If you have to update
So
your
pretty much
ingress control.
every change, every configuration change is also checkpointed.
Right.
Yes.
And it can
Yeah.
be recovered at a
Yeah,
later point
exactly.
in time, and it has,
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Thanks
need
a lot
not
for
be a
this.
stable state, it need not be
Yeah,
a stable state, right?
That's right.
You may have gone to unstable.
Right.
state.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's just with just about anything, but you may have a good chance at it.
How do you handle if your deployments are in GitHub?
Yeah.
Your auto scaling, your replica count is going to be in GitHub,
Right.
and then you make a change
yeah.
to your deployment.
Yeah, we that's an interesting one, right? So we don't do internally we don't do horizontal auto scaling type stuff.
Could you show you GitHub, PR log or that?
Yeah, so we'll get to
Is
the demo.
that
Yeah.
working? Yeah.
We'll get to a little demo shortly. There we go. All right. So okay, now I'll switch to right here. All right, so I've got two clusters here. Can you see my terminal? I've got like a dev cluster and a prod cluster, right? So I've got no pods. I mean, there are some pods in the system namespace, but none of those I care about today. And I've got this dev cluster that somebody was building this Java demo for me that they deployed on Kubernetes using a thing called Draft. I mean, I heard it's great, they like it, but like now I've got this deployment here in their dev cluster, and they asked me to deploy that in prod, right? Yeah, I wrote some notes earlier. So I'm going to go look at that. There's a service and deployment. Okay, so I mean, I might have a look what the hell they've been working on. Oh wow, that's funny. Okay. Okay. Well, all right. Well, whatever. That sounds all right. So we can just get them deployed in production. Clearly a startup. So okay, and then well, I got to review the service at the very least. All right. Okay. So this isn't quite right. Can you read of that? And load balance. Okay, I'm happy with that for the time being. Okay. Get that broad. Cool. Yeah. GitOps. Awesome. And Git push. So now I'll show you what happens behind the scenes, right? So this is a dev cluster in We've Cloud Explorer, and it's running this Java app, Java demo, whatever. So there's like one replica of it right now. I can look at its logs, and it's not logging anything right now. Let me just sort of log in and see what version of Java it's running. Java 8, great. I can see the arguments look quite right to me. That's what you're supposed to use for Java and Docker. That's great. And let me see, the logs should actually work. Anyway, I'll keep that there. So in production, I've got this Weave Cloud instance pointed to a GitHub repository, and I'm looking at the prod directory. So it's this repository here, and there's a prod directory here, and I just checked in a couple of things in there, right? And we're looking at master branch. I already done this earlier, and I already published the SSH key to GitHub. I'm not going to do Slack, but that's something you can do. You can add a Slack webhook URL here, and you'll get notified whenever Weave Cloud makes a release. So now, if I look at UI, okay, a minute ago we have synced some stuff from the repo. We can take a look at the change. Oh yeah, that looks like the thing I just checked in, right? GitOps, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, default Java. Oh, great! I got a bunch of images here. Let me check if this whole thing actually worked. Kubectl get services context prod. So all right, it's running. The server's been created a minute ago. So if I crawl it, I get a hello world. Brilliant. Okay. So all right, it's working, right? I better log that so nobody makes any changes. And what happens now is that another change been committed to Git, flags added an annotation, flags Weave.works, logs true. And that's also recorded in Git. Right, so I can also choose to automate, which means it will pick up all the images. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, I trust the developers really. Just me being a little paranoid here. Yeah, so we'll automate. Yeah. Okay. So that's also recorded as an annotation. So we can go back at here, right? So we look at the prod directory. So we can look at the history. So there are some changes here. So we automated, and just before that we unlocked. So we can see that this locked annotation goes away in that case, and the automation annotation appears here, right? So any of the changes you'd make through the UI would also be recorded. We also have CLI. If you prefer to use that, just thought to share it once in a while. I'd like to see the UI. And I can look at other services here. So see the track icon here. So that means that this particular service is automated. These are some of the ones that just come with my Kubernetes cluster. I don't care to look at those right now. And if I look at my Kubernetes resources notebook, which is part of hosted Prometheus service in Weave Cloud, I see my deploy interactions over here. There's this little blue dots over here. So if I just zoom in the last 5 minutes, I can see that there's different deploys actions taking place here. and that's something we offer within Cloud only. Right? So Prometheus doesn't do events; it only does time series data, and having those deploy events within Cloud, we are able to have them on top of the Prometheus graphs here. Any questions, please? So far, no? I thought
For your Prometheus, how I assume you're HA. How would have you done to make it HA? Are you using like influx cluster?
Right. So we started working on that a while ago, and if you look at the Prometheus mailing list, you'd find a thread on so-called Project Frankenstein, and essentially that's how we started, and then what then became the Cortex, which is a multi-tenant implementation of Prometheus with cloud-native storage backends. Like the one we currently use in production is DynamoDB. So it's Prometheus that stores data in DynamoDB.
So effectively, you're getting HA from Prometheus with a single instance of Prometheus.
No, it's pretty complicated. It's kind of like it's not a single instance at all. It's got multiple components, right? It's got an ingester and a few other things. I haven't worked in the project, so I wouldn't remember off the top of my head.
Just wasn't sure if anybody's open sourced an HA Prometheus config.
Right. So it's not.
I know Weavecloud isn't open source, but
Right, but the Prometheus service behind the scenes is open source actually.
yeah, but it's not HA.
In what sense? It is.
You can run multiple instances of the target Prometheus server, but if they get inconsistent data, it's up to you.
Okay, so I'd like to talk to more specifically about this after the talk. If that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So if anybody's got like GitOps specific question. All we covered that is like it's easy. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad that people don't have too many questions if it's all like clear. So now I can go in and do like prod. Let's do this, right? Java demo deployment, and I'll go and change the number of replicas. To 5. That. Right, and I obviously push to master. But like, the exact workflow you want to use is up to you. If you want to push to master, go ahead, right? If you want to do something like more complicated, that's totally fine. So now I go back to the cloud deploy. At present, the polling interval is 5 minutes by default. In the demo, I've changed it to 1.5 minutes. We can increase that, and then really continue to have webhooks to GitHub as well.
Was your image tag in that deployment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So
Because what happens if you've got a CI/CD pipeline and it's changing the image tag
right.
based on branch shop?
Yeah. So that's what we do, right?
But how does the deployment YAML keep up with those changes to the source pipeline?
Yeah, we basically poll the registry for new tags, and when we see a new tag, we'll update that. So we take care of updating the image.
Same with the replica count? If you manually change the replica count in Kube?
Right. No. You think we should do that? I mean, that is seen as like an ad hoc change. That if you didn't check it into Git, it will get undone by default. Sorry.
Because those are the two pieces of information
Right.
that get out of sync: is the replica count and the image tag.
Right. So let me explain what happens to the image tag. So now I've changed the replica count. I'll take a look here. It should have updated that, right? So you just apply this to the cluster. If I do kubectl get pods, context prod, I'll see 5 pods now, right? And the 4 of them are 22 seconds old. So if I publish a new image, Docker build here T, I'm using GCR and GK here, dx-general/Java demo. I don't know,
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, exactly. Oh, okay, so now I'm going to build this image. I've not built it locally in a while. Well, actually, I haven't. Someone else has done that. All right, so oh dear. Okay. So now I'll build an image. I'll push that to the registry, and what you'll see, because I enabled automation and Vcloud deploy, that will get deployed and updated again. Right? And you can add like a global expression to match for, I don't know, V1 or whatever, right?
From the registry, not from the source.
From the registry, yeah.
The source repository.
No, from just like what's in the registry, yeah. Because your source repository could be just about anywhere. Yes, please.
How do you do rollbacks then?
How do you roll back? You can click.
Right?
Yeah, you can click a button in Weaveworks UI.
Can I pick a particular git hash that you want to roll back to? Because I might
Yeah,
apply time to deploying and including, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
So I want to apply that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you can lock it as well. Feel more secure that way. Okay, so this was gcloud docker/version. Oh, come on, it's not that fell here, right? No, it looks like it's working, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna upload some stuff. I mean, this is a Java app, but it's using what do you call it? Multi-stage build. So it's just GRE plus jar. So that's okay. So we've got that now. And if you look at Java demo here, yeah, we can see the 1 to 3 tag here. And that should get automatically updated momentarily. So I'll just stay hands off for a moment. You can refresh the page. It's not locked in it, it's automated. Yeah. So it should do that. It's control of that. Again, take a look at the logs because all that stuff is happening inside of my cluster. Context, prod, get pods, and namespace. System. Label selector. Flux component. So that'll give me the file name for my file and I'll give it okay. So the last thing it said was a well, I think oh yeah, it's current already, right? So if I do a git pull here, git log -1 so you can see that 1 to 3 was updated in the cluster and recorded again. So if I go and look at the cluster as well, kubectl get pods. I think label up Java demo. As my pod has been. Oh yeah, this is the dev context. Context. 1 minute here, and I can go describe. I don't know. YAML. Today, yeah, we can see that it's wanting to. Well, this is pretty much the end of this demo, and I think we're probably out of time. So you can find out more at cloud.pick.org. There will be information about the open source projects as well as the SaaS product. And here's my email address and Slack. And we have a virtual/local meetup group that you're welcome to join.